Hello everyone. Hope you are all good and healthy. So we'll start for the today's meetup. So as you all know, our meetup agenda is infrastructure cost optimization with system manager. Okay. So let me give my introduction first. So my name is Jay and I'm a DevOps engineer working with Yudiz solution from last 3 years, and I'm also AWS Solution Architect Certified Associate. And for our meetups, our speakers is first is Aman Makwana. He is also AWS community builder and CNFC Rajkot leader. And our second speaker is Hiren Panchani. He is also working as a DevOps engineer, and he is also certified with CCNA and CCNP. Okay. So before starting our meetup, why we have choose this topic. So let's discuss about this. So we faced we have one issue, like we are running multiple server in our organization, right? So we have dev server, production server, staging server. So many times for the staging and dev server, we work only for 8 hours. Let's say our working hours, max 8, right? And we are wasting that resource to like almost 40 to 50%. We are still not doing anything on that server. Still, that server is started. Okay. So to solve this issue, we have identified this as a problem and start looking at the solution. And then we found that we can stop the server after the working hour and the weekend. So for today's meetup, our main agenda is how we can optimize our server cost using system manager. Okay. So go with the agenda. Okay. So first is what is cloud cost optimization. So as you know, the cloud cost is very high, so we have to save that, right? Same as why cloud cost optimization. Obviously, we have to save the cost. So for this, we have identified the best cloud provider available, as is AWS. We all know. So we have chosen the AWS for this meetup. Okay. And then we'll go with the strategy to cost optimization and introduction to system manager. What is system manager? What is the features of system manager? And in the last, we are going to show one hands-on demo. Using that, we'll optimize our AWS infrastructure cost. Okay. So let's start with today's meetup. I will hand over this session to Hiren Panchani. Over to you, Hiren.
Hello everyone. Myself Hiren Panchani. Let's discuss some facts or some logics behind and what is cloud cost optimization. First of all, cloud optimization is not any kind of technology or functions you can easily implement with easy methods. It's a continuous process. You need to monitor it constantly and improve it with a slow pace. Right. So it depends on each and everyone's environment that how do you optimize the cloud. Most of the cloud optimization can be achieved simply by resolving or reducing the waste resources. Like most of the times we are wasting 65% of the resources in the dev and staging environments. So itself the cloud cost optimization phrase is divided into three parts: cloud, optimization, and the cost. Optimization, we already know it: reduce, improve, effectively and efficiently. So, there's a great word said by some man known Peter Drucker. He's a management consultant and educator, author in America. If you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. Let's say you are deploying some kind of servers or some kind of resources on your cloud. You don't even know what's your billing gonna cost. You are not measuring the cost. You are not measuring the resources. How are you gonna improve it? That's obvious thing. Why do we focus on cloud cost optimization? Because cloud cost optimization can spread awareness in your company or in your colleagues' environments, which can help avoiding significant cloud billing surprises. You never know when it's gonna bill you $500 without even knowing it at the end of the month. So this practice can help us improve and spread awareness, especially. Cloud is cheap and efficient, but there's a condition: only if you know how to use it wisely. You cannot assume that cloud, you cannot assume on a prophecy or the rumors that cloud is cheap, because you might end up using a lot more resources than you require actually and end up wasting cloud resources. Let's say you are simply deploying a static website. You don't need an EC2 for that. You can simply use a light server. But most of the time, people are focused on we need a single server. We will be using EC2. So all those cost optimization and techniques we will see later on slides and hands-on demos, that how can we choose right resources, right size, right type, and all those. A simple example, a visibility example. Let's say you are using electricity bill, and everyone is known pay-as-you-go billing model for the cloud optimization. But in reality, in actuality, if you observe deeply with this type of model, it is not exactly pay-as-you-go model. Imagine electricity is the best example of the pay-as-you-go model. You will be only charged per power consumption. But in a cloud, let's take an example. You are using a server of 4 GB RAM and two virtual CPUs. But actually you are not using 4 GB RAM. You are only utilizing 2 GB RAM, meaning that 2 GB of the person is your wastage actually. That is an extra. We know that we are making pay-as-you-go model for 4 GB, but you are not even utilizing it. So actually it is not a pay-as-you-go model in a deep analysis. Over allocating resources, and mostly the wastage of resources, this can be reduced to the minimal amount to achieve the cost of optimization. Let's discuss some facts and morals. 2020 was the fifth consecutive year, like from 2016 to 2020, the cloud cost optimization was the most focused topic on the internet. 5 years it's been a huge effort for everyone to optimize a cloud. Flexera is a company, American company. We're taking an example, $10 billion. Mostly average company waste is on the cloud, and from that, $6.4 billion, meaning 64% of the all cloud providers are based on AWS users alone. 35% of the waste is being done due to the development staging environments, which are not actually in the production environment, which we can minimize it during the off hours. There are lots of stages, or let's discuss some cloud initiatives. You can observe that optimizing existing use of cloud or cost saving is being 73% from 2020 of all the respondents. A everyone is known to AWS, but let's assume that everyone might be a fresher, someone doesn't even know about cloud. So let's take a brief introduction about AWS. What is AWS? Like AWS is a cloud offering company or cloud computing computational offering company. There are a lot many in the market, Google, Azure, and AWS, but AWS is the market leader right now. It almost holds 32% of the cloud computing person, and second goes by Azure. So that's the reason we have decided to choose or go for the AWS demonstration for the cloud optimization today. There are many techniques or you say models you can go, or you can choose the right type, what to choose, what type to choose, what size to choose, plans to choose for the cloud optimization techniques. We'll discuss some strategies in the AWS model. And we also do the hands-on after all of the discussions. It will be a short discussion. I don't know, it might be boring, but let's have some prerequisite logical steps before the hands-on demos and what we are going to use. There are some strategies for the cost optimization. Right size, right type, plans, type of instances like sports instances, unused resources. But today's main agenda is the third point, automated infrastructure, which can help us reduce almost 35% of your cost. Even if you're not chosen the right size or right type or storage type. Size can be one of the major factor also. You only use what you needed. You can use the smaller instances for the development and staging environments. Right storage type is the most concerned part also. Taking example for AWS only, there are types of storage available, like let's say we compare GP2 versus IOPS. For development and staging, you only need IOPS. Even for the small environments, for small environments, you can work with GP2s, but you might end up choosing IOPS, and which can hike a bill of a year in a month. Purchasing the instance using saving plans and reserve plans, all those steps, all those informations are already provided by AWS, like purchasing instance or take advantage of spot instances or release or destroy unused type of resources which you are not required. But the thing which is not provided by AWS, it's like automate the things which is possible to do it during off hours, midnights, and weekends. Because in a month we only use development and staging environment for like almost 40% only. 60% is nights, midnights, or weekends. So we'll be focusing on that part for today using system managers. What is system manager? System manager is just a services offered by AWS, which will be discussed by my colleague Aman Makwana in the next session. So next slide, I'll hand over to Aman Makwana for now. Then we'll be continuing with hands-on. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Chaser, for amazing introduction for us, and thank you, Aaron, for nicely explaining cost optimization. Okay, so now we'll go on to the what is Systems Manager. Next. Okay, so what is Systems Manager? It is an amazing service provided by AWS where you can control your infrastructure in multiple and operational way, like you can view your operational data from various services, and you can run like various automations on your various services, where you can run automation documents on few of the services, where you can also schedule and maintenance tasks, which are every now and then is a manual approach. You can also maintain the patch maintenance, where you have to update the infrastructure of EC2 instance or update the OS. You can also gather some inventory. These are some of the most important features of the AWS Systems Manager, where we'll be discussing in depth of each and every feature. Next. Okay, so here we discuss the capabilities of Systems Manager. Like, let's take an example of we have an application where it is hosted in RDS, where one EC2 is also there, one also Redis Elastic Cache is also there. So in order to monitor the application, we have to go in multiple console panels. Like we have to, in order to monitor RDS, we have to see in the logs of EC2 separately RDS and separately Redis. So by using Systems Manager, you can combine all these three services together, and you can see the operational logs combinedly. So how it will be the good to not changing the panels and view the whole things of application monitoring in one thing. This is the one scenario, but Systems Manager can help you in many aspects. Like you can run SSM documents where it is a set of automation with and you can also set it to the maintenance window. So by your times, the maintenance window or SSM windows will run, and your managed task will be run. You can also get some application inventories where you can get the list of your infrastructures, applications installed directly on your AWS consoles. You can also, one of the main thing is you can securely manage SSLs without almost opening an inbound port or manage SSH keys. Suppose you have high number of users of servers, you don't need to give them separate SSH keys. Simple, use the Systems Manager and assign the role, and your work is done. Next. So here is the high architecture overview of Systems Manager overview, where we can get operations management, applications management, change management, and nodes management. And these all things are performed on various aspects. Like you can group the several resources and combine into one single aggregated panel, and you can combinedly visualize data from this panel, and you can get your operational insights. And upon that, you can take action also. Like suppose your server 1 is down and your EBS is full. Let's take a scenario where your EBS is full. So you can attach another EBS to that instance where your EBS is almost full. So here Systems Manager is very helpful, where you can take actions also on behalf of some critical issues. So before starting some on hands-on, there are some prerequisites which needs to be fulfilled in order to automate, take actions, and visualize on behalf of Systems Manager. So EC2 has the attached role where it is where you have to attach role to any services which will be managed by SSM. Okay, so here we are using EC2 and RDS. So let's go on to that next. Okay, so let's start the most interactive and amazing part of this meetup. This is hands-on. So okay, I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So here what we are going to perform, as here I have said that when we are performing the stopping and starting of EC2 instance and RDS instance, whenever we are not in the active hours. So here's the demo. So here we have also one running instance which is managed by SSM. So how can you know that this instance is managed by SSM? So in order to have a managed instance, you have two things pre-installed in your EC2 instance. One is SSM agent, which is System Manager, which is by default installed in 20.04 instance, and one is EC2 role for SSM. So let's take see the role also. It's been taking a while. Okay, so here we are. Roles. Okay, so I have predefined made my role for. Okay, so here is the role that EC2 for SSM. Let's see into the role. Here we have to give the information or to EC2 to control the SSM. This is a simple policy attached and it is AWS managed. This is AWS Amazon EC2 role for SM. Okay, so this is the role needs to be attached in order to SSM to manage your EC2. Okay, so here is a running instance and suppose I need to stop this instance after my working hours. So here comes the system manager in picture. Let's go to systems manager. Okay. So in System Manager, there is one powerful feature that is called maintenance windows, by which we can schedule a task which will be run on our behalf. Just take an example like it is a cron job. Okay. So here we are, create maintenance windows. Stop EC2. Okay. So here we have to we have to run this task. It is currently 5:17. We have to schedule it after 5 minutes. 28. Okay. So duration. So this is the duration where the maintenance window will run for. Maintenance window will run for 1 hour. Stop and we will give the default value that is 0 because we have not deal with these issues. This is also one advanced task where you can schedule your maintenance windows on your time. Okay, so let's create the maintenance window. So our maintenance window is there. Now what? Our maintenance window is playing. Maintenance window doesn't have any task registered with it. So let's register the task. So what we have to register? We have to run an automation document where we have to stop the EC2 instance. So let's give the name stop EC2. Okay. So here is the main thing and what is the main advantage of System Manager, that it can give you many predefined documents where we have to run.
It is predefined, like you don't have to make it, and it is predefined.
Okay, so let's start for stop search. Okay, so here we are AWS stop EC2 instance. Okay. So here is a document version. If you have made any version related to that, then here you can select this time also, latest version at runtime. This is a task priority where you have multiple tasks, then you can arrange it prioritize your task also. So this is the targets where you can make also predefined targets where multiple this maintenance window attacks or on multiple resources. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so this instance is managed by SSM, so it can be shown here. So let's select that and select the instance ID in order to stop the EC2 instance. So this is the input parameters where we have to enter the instance IDs. Okay, the instance ID. So now the main thing is automation assume rule. That whenever SSM has to stop EC2 instance, which role SSM has to take, assume. So let's see that role also. Okay, so here is the SSM EC2 stop start role. So let's see into that role. Here we have to give access to SSM to stop and start EC2 and to fetch the details of EC2, like what is the status of current status of EC2. Okay, so here is the role here and we have to copy. Okay. Just give the role here and here. We have also already given the instance ID, so no need to task target registered. Okay, so register automation task. Okay, so the task is registered. So let's see that 11:50 UTC is what time we have scheduled it for 17:28. Perfect. It is executed at 5:28. So let's wait for the history to see the execution. Meanwhile, if anyone has any question, then please ask them to. Please raise the question. Okay, maintenance window is not yet started. Let's reload it again. See the maintenance window again, stop EC2. Okay, it is in progress. Let's see the status of EC2 instance. And yes, it is stopping. So here you can, this is a demo for like you can stop your infra and start your infra on weekends, and you can save your cost almost up to 25% based upon your infrastructure. Okay, so our instance is stopping. So system manager is also waiting. It is waiting for get the status of EC2 instance to be stopped. So similarly, we can also go for RDS. As RDS is a bit costly. Okay. RDS. It is still in progress. Okay, so we have an RDS instance, which is stock, and we have start that. So let's wait for the maintenance window to be success, and then we create it for RDS. Okay, RDS is stopped. Let's start RDS by maintenance window. Say we schedule it at 17:35. Okay, maintenance window is scheduled for 1 hour. The default value. Okay, so here is the time zone. So I will be going for GMT Kolkata. So as you know, again our maintenance window is created and we have to register the task. So task is automation task where you have to run that automation of RDS. Start RDS. Here is the predefined document of provided by Systems Manager. Is provided chapter. Test is runtime. Task target is not required as we are providing input parameters. So what is the name of our RDS instance? This database run. Copy. So here also we have to go the automation assume role. So as the role is not there, so we may create the role. Okay. So we have to give Systems Manager access of RDS. Okay, so our role is already there. Let's pick up from that only. Taking So yes, this is the role. So let's give the copy the role URL and give to the Systems Manager maintenance window. Okay. Copy. Okay. Register automation task. But the time is gone. We have to shift a bit. Let's take if I define it is gone. Where is the window? On builder area 17 37. Okay. So now let's wait for the RTS to start. Meanwhile, if anyone has any question, then please raise the hand. Okay, so one maintenance window is only executed. Let's see the status of our RDS. Okay, so as you see that RDS is starting. So as you know that by these methods we can save our infrastructure cost a lot and we can benefit our organization also. So guys, if meanwhile if anyone has any question, then please raise your hand. Yes, the RDS is still tracking and it will take a bit of minute.
Just a second, Aman. Bipin has one question. Bipin, you can unmute and speak. Hello, Bipin. Okay, left. Okay, no issue. We can continue.
Okay, so RDS is still starting. The RDS is starting the template to start.
Until that, anyone have any question, please raise the hand.
Yes, RDS has shown the current activity, there is 0 connections, status is still starting.
Hello, Aman.
Yeah, Bipin.
Yeah, I have one question. Is there
Yeah,
any
please ask.
course for system administration in system managing, or how can we learn?
Okay, there is no such course like you can learn systems manager, but there is one predefined base document that I provide the link. So you can get the idea on how to get started with system manager and use several services provided by systems manager. Lisa, can you please provide the link?
Sure. I will share that on the meetup. So you can guys visit that meetup comments and you can get it from there. Cool.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, so now RDS is started. We have saved a lot of course. Yes, I'm stopping my presentation. If anyone has an issue in hands-on, then please reach out to me.
So let's wait for 1 minute. If anyone have any question, please unmute yourself and ask. If no, then that's it for the meetup. Thank you for the joining. Have a good day. Bye bye.